Hi, team. Very good evening, all of you, and thank you for joining. Yes, you all know why we all gathered here. Close to 15 members, I can see. Why we all gathered here? Yes, of course. We are going to discuss about some of the AWS DevOps a real project, overview with the architecture diagram. Okay, why we all need to learn this first of all. So today, people are in the confusion which project I should add in my resume. Whenever I go for an interview, if they ask for my current project, what should I have to explain? That is a common question to all the people and confusion to all the people. To giving the full stop only, I am planning to present nearly 25 different real project in the live environment based out of AWS and DevOps. If you ask me, all 25 can be learned in single session within 30 minutes. That is not really possible in one day, right? So everything we need to show the progress. So what my action plan is, every week Saturday, I'm planning to connect with all of you member like this for 30 minutes. Okay, we don't want to spend much time. Just 30 minutes would be enough. For the free of cost, I'm planning to explain each and every projects, right, for next 25 weeks. That is my action plan. Okay. So quick intro about myself. Few of you already know about me. Some of them new. So for those guys who knew, right, myself, Hari, I'm basically out of Chennai, India. So in my career, right, I have a close to 12 to 13 years of career experience with which all area of my expert. I'm good in AWS. I'm good in Azure. I'm good in GCP. I used to work in DevOps. Okay. I'm Kubernetes, certified and expert, and I used to work in the Python programming. So these are all my area of expertise, guys. Okay, basically I'm a multi-cloud consultant. For my, I like to teach. By the way, okay, I like to teach. Many of them, used to tell my way of teaching is really good. So that's motivate me to conduct these kind of free sessions. By the way, okay. All right. Quickly, let's get started. So, meantime, right? Anybody has any question regarding the project? What we're gonna discuss? Meantime, anyone has any concerns or you want more detail? Whatever, right? Feel free to unmute and ask your questions. No problem. What? Okay. Just raise your hand. Okay.
Hello, Ari sir.
So feel free to unmute and ask your doubts or questions so that we can make this as an interactive session. Okay. So please, don't make any background noise. All right. So if anybody making background noise, obviously that will disturb others. Correct. So we don't want to make others get disturbed. Let's get started. So we got some hi message from Ashwin.
Ari sir, will you share the recording, sir?
Yeah, we will share. We will share the recording also. All 25 sessions.
Okay, sir.
You're gonna get. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
These kind of general questions, right? If anything related to technical, stop me at the point. These kind of general doubt request. Hey, Hari, you're gonna share the recordings. You will share the document or material, whatever. These are general questions, right? We can have a parking lot at the end of the class. You can be here till your doubt get cleared. I'll be here only. Okay. After that, we can leave. So that we can make this discussion really technical. Okay. Any question related to technical, feel free to unmute and continue your questions. Okay. So general one we can discuss in the parking lot. Second thing, anybody making background noise, that as I said, it will make disturbs to others. So for those candidates, right, I'll remove from the meeting so they cannot join back. Okay. Fine, guys. I think it's good for us to get it started. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna quickly share the document of what project we're gonna discuss today. I believe I got it. Hope all of you able to see my screen. So yes, I'll try to increase the size. I think this should be good. All of you able to read the content, right? The project one. All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. So today in the project one, right, we are going to talk about what AWS project. This is something hybrid cloud network and scalable application deployment in AWS infrastructure. Simple hybrid cloud in the sense, no need to make yourself confused. It's not about AWS Azure, AWS GCP, nothing like that. So in this today's concept, right, I'm going to talk about AWS is the cloud environment still some of the organizations are using on-premises data center. So this use case is about how AWS is going to get it connected with on-premises. In that, how I'm going to deploy my application, which is scalable and high availability based application. How I'm going to deploy it in AWS. That's what this use case is about. Okay. So yes, guys, honestly, I'll tell you one thing. This 25 projects, right? I'm having it handy because all my 13 years of career experience, I worked on more than 100 projects. That's thing out of which are really important, right? I've taken that as a 25 items. Okay, nothing more than that. If you have any feedback on top of it, if you have any suggestion, since it's a first session, right? Feel free to share your input at the end of the parking lot. Upcoming days, right? We'll try to improvise that. Okay. So this is going to be like first session. Let me go with my flow. End of session, I'll consider your input. We will add those as add-ons in the upcoming weeks. All right. So fine. What is the use of understanding this architecture? And yeah, here you have an architecture diagram. If you go, this is what the architecture diagram. What we're gonna discuss today. Yes, I'll talk about that. But before that, how Hari, this is gonna helpful for me if I spend 30 minutes with you. How this is gonna helpful for my career growth. For general FAQ should be there in all of your mind. For that FAQ, right? I'll answer it. By understanding this project, right? This is going to be one of the project you can add it in your resume. Point one. So if you go for attending any interview, the interviewer asks, definitely, this is the common question in every interview. Can you talk about your current infrastructure? Can you talk about your current project? Can you tell what is your exposure with the AWS? So these kind of questions are very much common as of today. Everyone wants to understand your current, knowledge level in AWS. So in that time, right, while presenting in the project, definitely out of this 25, you can make use of any one or two projects while presenting during the interview. That's for sure. Okay. So I know that some people already knows AWS, some people new to AWS. That is the reason I'm starting out of this 25. This is one of the first level project. So this has very limited technical complexities. Okay, by considering everyone's knowledge level, right? I made it in such a way by every week. Okay, as I said, we'll have a progress in the sense that difficulties and complexities also will be keep on added into our project. That is what the expectation. All right, I'm expecting good support from your side as well. Let's all make this very useful to each and everyone. All right, let's get started, guys. Okay, no more blah 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 theory. Hybrid cloud network and scalable application deployment. So what I'm gonna do in this project, I'm gonna talk about there is a AWS cloud is there in my environment. In this AWS cloud, right? We do have a on-premises data center as well. Not every organization completely migrated to cloud. Of course, yes, many of them migrated to cloud computing, especially AWS or Azure or GCP, whatever they're comfortable. But still, many of the organization manages their crucial part in the on-premises data center. That's what true fact. What is the reason? Basically, every organization, right? They don't want to give the complete dependency to AWS. That's the point one. There are some set of items, they are keeping it in the physical data center itself. Obviously, my physical data center needs to have a proper communication securely with my cloud computing, AWS environment. Okay. So in that case only, we are going to talk about hybrid cloud network. By end of this project, right, you all will come to know what is a better way of communication from AWS to on-prem data center. That's point one. On top of this AWS hybrid cloud network, you guys going to learn today how are we going to deploy a scalable web application on top of AWS. That's our target today. All right. So what is the objective? Design and implement a hybrid cloud infrastructure on AWS that securely connects on-premises data center with AWS cloud resources, which means we are going to design and implement. Okay, implement I have given here as as proper wording, but we are not going to actually implement in the AWS console. That is not our plan. First, we'll go through the setup and architecture diagram. I want you guys to do it. I guess I'm giving this responsibility to you. Okay, let me explain the project. Let me give you the architecture diagram. You guys try to deploy it. Okay, that's where you will get a hands-on, because I have done this for more than 100 times. So we are going to design an infrastructure, hybrid infrastructure AWS that securely connect with the on-premises data center. Okay. Addition to that, deploying a highly available and scalable web application, the backend with RDS database. We are going to deploy a highly available and scalable web application. Okay, with the backend RDS database. So I'm going to have a web application going to deploy in AWS with the high availability and scalability. Also in the backend, right, I'm going to add my RDS database. Obviously, my web application should have the RDS database connectivity, right? That's what the action plan. So far, all of you clear? Anyone has any doubt?
No.
Good. While discussing each topic, I'll give the time like that. Okay. If you have any question like that, I'll raise. Any of you having any question, make use of the time to place your questions. Okay. Feel free to ask your question. Even it could be, simple doubt, feel free to ask. So I'll give the time while explaining each and every para. All right. So for implementing this hybrid cloud network and scalable web application with the database provisioning, we need some AWS component guys. We need some key components. Those components are something like network connectivity. Obviously, my AWS have to communicate with my physical data center. Not only that, that is the first point of communication. Second, network connectivity would be, I need to deploy my web application, okay, with an AWS infrastructure. Obviously, I need more than one servers. So the server should have an internet connectivity. And if I am going with the minimum 2 servers also, those 2 EC2 instances, okay, those 2 EC2 servers have to communicate. Okay, that is the second level of communication. Third level would be, I have a web server available. I have a database server located in RDS. Okay, the web server has to communicate with RDS. For that is the third level of communication. So in this project, we are going to talk about tree networking connectivity. Okay, when we talking about tree networking connectivity, we'll have to undergone these are the networking component. I'll come to that point. Okay, detailing. Then on-premises connectivity. So when I have the on-premises data center, one angle I have a AWS cloud, another angle I have a on-prem database. Sorry, on-prem data center. From AWS to on-premises, I need to establish the VPN connection. Okay, for that, through VPN, virtual private network, I am going to connect with my AWS. We have a 2 options available from AWS. If you want to connect with AWS to on-premises, you have 2 options offered by AWS. One is VPN, that's a basic setup. Another one is direct connect. There are 2 options are available. I'm going to explain about these 2 options, whichever is comfortable to you, whichever the feature you really likes. Consider that, present that during the interview. There should be some time you might ask this question. What are the different way you can connect AWS to on-premises, which is more cost effective, which is, giving you good performance. These kind of question also you might ask during an interview. So make sure to listen this item clearly while I explain. Have a clear understanding on these 2. Whichever, as I said, whichever you're convenient and you feel good, take that for your interview. All right. So coming to the application deployment, yes, above we have done with the networking connectivity, communication between AWS to on-prem, that's done. Now we are coming to the main core and the heart of our project, which is application deployment. The reason why people mainly come to cloud is, yes, simple. It gives you a scalability. It gives you a high availability. You can ask me, hey, Hari, why scalability is not there with the data center? Honestly, I'm telling, it's there with the data center. But if you have one server, you want to scale that server, right? Hey, imagine you're going to upgrade that server. Are you going to create one more server with the same set of configuration? There are lots of, first thing, you need to invest it to buy one more hardware. Second thing, you need to make sure the current server's configuration and ensure the second server has same identical configuration. That requires more technical knowledge you need to put as a on-prem engineer, data center engineer. Second thing, right, it's not that easy. Even in a fraction of second or fraction of minutes, you cannot replicate it. The minimum you would require some time for doing that. Where in the cloud, right, it's not required like that. In another 5 minutes, you can, provision any number of similar identical scalable infrastructure as much as you want. That's one another advantage. Coming to an high availability, right? Where in cloud completely AWS team taking care backend in terms of hardware failures, networking outage, power supply issues, any other issues, right? If it's AWS supporting us equally, so we don't want to worry about our high availability. Okay, those things are very crucial when come to AWS based application deployment. So in this application deployment, we're going to talk about there's something called a auto scaling configuration. We are going to talk about load balancer. We are going to talk about how securely we can establish the connections using security group. Okay, that's what we're going to talk. Last but not least, database configuration. When you have a web application, obviously backend should be your database. So AWS itself, they have providing a service called RDS. Okay, Amazon relational database service, RDS stands for. So how can we create our database servers? Where to create the database server, whether we should configure it in public network or private network. So that we're going to discuss. Monitoring and logging. When you go any environment, right? When you go any project, this is basic. Okay. This is basic. We are going to create a one monitoring system. We are going to create a one log management system. Mostly, I'm going to use with an AWS native service itself. I'm not going to use any third party. I'm going to talk about native service itself. Maybe in future weeks, right? I'll bring new projects. At that time, I'll bring new third party monitoring tool or log management. Okay. This is what our action plan, guys. Based on these key component only, we are going to implement our project now. Okay. Network connectivity, on-premises connectivity, we are going to deploy the application. We are going to set up the database and the backend connections, monitoring, logging. Okay, these 5 points are our crucial things. These 5 points are our crucial things. Okay, so let me quickly take a notes so that I can share this notes with you. So today's we're going to start from AWS network and connectivity. We are going to understand on-prem. Best way to communicate with on-prem data center. Okay, short form I'll mention like a DC. Third one, we're going to talk about application deployment. Fourth one, we're going to talk about DB connections. Okay, best way. Again. Database. Okay, not a database connection. One last thing, monitoring. This is what our action plan, guys. Okay. Everyone understand these 5 points. If you have any doubt, feel free to raise your question. We can clarify your doubts before going to implement this infrastructure. All good? Any questions on this?
We can
no
only
worries.
create.
Okay, let's go one by one. Dharmendra Kumar, you can start.
Yes. So we can only create the instance in AWS, and from where we can generate. I mean, the data center we don't have. So how can we connect between data center and AWS?
Okay, good question. Yes, that's obviously right. We are going to discuss in the point 2. If you give me 5 minutes, I'll explain that in detail. Okay. Any other questions?
Oh.
Anyone? All good. How many of you able to follow me? How many of you able to understand this project? Nobody? Guys, I'm not asking about the doubt. How many of you able to follow me?
Sir, application deployment means we need to build the codes in the pipeline, sir.
Yeah, before that, you are able to follow what I am talking. You are able to follow me.
Yeah, your voice is audible for me, sir.
No, it's not about audibling things. You are able to understand the way I'm explaining.
Yeah, I understood the concepts you're explaining.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. So,
Okay, sir.
so if I'm, responding your doubts, it will be good if you guys can respond me back when I have something to you people. That we'll have to mutually, which something motivate me to explain a bit more deep dive, right? If people are being on mute, so no, fine. Anyway, I'm getting a response from in the chat. In the chat, yeah, someone mentioned Samsung, Anurag, Sanjay. All right, guys. At least you three responded me. Thanks a lot. So fine. Anyway, so let's get started. Yeah. All right. So we know our plan. First, what I'm going to do in AWS. Okay. So if I got this requirement from my client, imagine if I got this requirement from my client, first what I will do, I'll go ahead and I'll create the AWS account. Okay, I need to create the AWS cloud account. I need to create. Okay, so here if you go, you have a option to create the AWS account. So all of you know, right, how to create an AWS account. Same way, you guys follow it and create an AWS account. Imagine this should be your AWS account. This is your AWS account. Okay. Once you create AWS account, right? Obviously, you will have your own data center already in the place. You will have a physical data center, should be in your place. Okay, physical data center, which means on premises, which is there in the place. For connecting your AWS to on premises, right? First, what we need to do, we need to create the VPC actually. We need to create the VPC, by the way. We need to create the VPC. In AWS, there is a service available called VPC, Virtual Private Cloud. Okay, once I create VPC, right, I need to create the subnets actually. I need to create the subnets. This is my subnet 1. This is my subnet 2. This is my subnet 3. This is my subnet 4. We are going to consider these all my above two all my public subnet. Okay, below all going to be my private subnet. Okay, so I'm going to name each subnet. This should be in the first subnet. Availability is on 1. This should be my second subnet. Availability is on 2. This should be my third subnet. Availability is on 3. This should be my fourth subnet. Availability is on 4. Like that, I'm going to have a subnets. When I'm creating subnets, right, next to what I will do, I would create a connections like this. This should be my route table. Okay, this should be my routing table. Okay, the entire VPC, right, will have a connection and communication connected with there is someone called, internet gateway. The communication is to establish somebody called internet gateway. Internet gateway is the component to provide the internet connectivity to this entire VPCs. Okay, not for everybody, only for public subnet. Private subnet will not get any internet connections. Then for connecting from our on-premises, right, we need to create a two things. Okay, there's something called the architecture diagram itself I have mentioned. Okay, go there, right? So we'll create one thing. One thing is customer gateway, another one is VPN gateway. All right. So let me open that again. Sorry, I've closed it. Okay, what we will do, we'll have to create something called. Okay, then in the on-prem site, right? Virtually, okay, we'll create in the cloud account only, but in the on-prem site, right, we need to create customer gateway. Using that, what we will do, we will establish the VPN connection. VPN connection means it will be a VPN, virtual private network. Okay, VPN, virtual private network. So there will be a tunnel, right? We will establish the tunnel connectivity. So whatever communication happen to this on-prem center from the AWS, right? Obviously, we need a help of our physical data center guy also. The data center network engineer also have to help and support. So by this way, right, we will establish the connection. So from on-premises to AWS cloud, there are two ways of you can establish the connections, guys. Two options are there. One is VPN, what you are seeing here. Second one, right, direct connect. What is the difference between these two? So VPN is the simplest way of making a communication. As you've seen, right, we have simply created a VPN gateway, and another end we have created a customer gateway. Through that, right, we established it. I mean, there will be one public IP will be there over here, and there will be another public IP will be there for your data center. From this IP to that IP, we will establish the private network path. Okay, any packets you will send in future from this point to this point through this tunnel, virtual tunnel get established. Through the tunnel only your communications are happening. Of course, in the source end and destination and encryption decryptions are happening, authentication, authorization in place. That and all basic VPN concept. If you go anywhere, that's how VPN works. Same functionality and advantages available over here also. But end of day, this is how it communicates. Other than that, right? Other than the VPN, a traditional way of connection, there is something called direct connect. There is the option, another option available. Direct connect is one of the AWS service only, actually. So how direct connect is differ from the the above VPN one? Basically, this direct connect, right, helping us to from AWS cloud to the physical data center. They will physically establish the connection. For setting up the direct connect, right, we need to request AWS. Because from AWS data center to your customer physical location, physical connectivity they will establish. Physical cable they will establish. That will be a first thing, it will time taking process. Second thing is very much expensive. Direct connect is very much expensive. Then why people will opt for that? But the advantage is it provides you very good bandwidth. The transmission from the AWS to on-premise will be very much quicker and very much faster, by the way. Very much quicker and very much faster, by the way. So if you have that much ultra high, performance is required, you prefer to go with the direct connect. All right. Other than that, you have a normal requirement only. You can go with the VPN. Okay. These are the differences available between VPN and direct connect. So this how we'll establish the connections. This how we'll establish the connections. Once coming to the application deployment, right? Coming to the application deployment, here we have seen. Okay. So far, what we have understood. AWS connectivity, we need to create the VPC, virtual private cloud, subnets, we need to create, route table, we need to create, internet gateway, we need to create. Okay. Once you have done, for connecting that, we have a two option available for VPN and direct connect. Whichever you are comfortable, right? Good to go with that. Direct connect. Along with that, right? Two more resources you need to create. VPN and customer gateway you need to create. Now we are going to talk about the deployment in AWS. So what are we going to do in the deployment, in the application deployment in the AWS? We'll create something called auto scaling. Okay, we are going to create a web servers. In this web servers, right, we are going to create in the public network. We are going to create a database servers. Should be in private. This is the AWS best practices and recommendations, guys. Okay. So why AWS, recommending giving this as a best practices? Because in the database only you'll have a data are being stored. All your critical data, crucial data, everything will be there in your database servers only. Okay. So we will set up a auto scaling, by the way. Okay. What is meant by auto scaling? So here it provides you high availability for your server. So imagine this is your server 1. This is your web server 1. Imagine like that. And this is your web server 2. This is my web server 2. Similarly, you'll have a database servers. Okay. Since all of them are connected in the same VPC, by default, they will have the private communication. Only thing, they'll have a security group. They'll have a security group must be available. You need to ensure the necessary ports are opened in the security. Okay, these instances, right? These are calling it as a instances technically in AWS. These all will be get created using your auto scaling. What is the purpose of auto scaling? In the auto scaling, right? What it will do? It will monitor. If you specify minimum, I would recommend a 2 server mean. It will always monitor if anything happened to any one of these server, hardware failure or network outage or down due to any reason. So auto scaling will automatically recreate this failed server. That's one advantage. Second advantage is if both the servers are overutilized. Both the servers are overutilized. Like if any, right? Flipkart, Amazon, and all people will be running, Big Billion Day, India, One India sale. That time and all, more people used to visit their site, correct? So that time, if many people are accessing, my utilization is higher. In that case, it will automatically spin up a new server for adjust the load. Okay, that is what taken care by auto scaling. Application deployment, right? We'll create a auto scale in AWS. Okay. For a database, right? We'll create a RDS. Okay. All the servers are being provisioned by RDS actually. So this one and this one are being created by your RDS. Okay. Relational database service. In AWS itself, we have a service available, relational database service. Here we'll create a RDS. All the SQL database are available. MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle, Microsoft SQL, MariaDB, Aurora. Like Aurora is the AWS inbuilt database engine. Okay, out of which any database you can provision it. Okay, your web application will be available over here. Your database server. So then what we will do, both the web application, right? We will connect it through any one of the load balancer, by the way. This should be our load balancer. Okay, this should be our load balancer, I believe. So both the servers are right. I will be get connected to this load balancer, by the way. Yes, we connect to the load balancer. This load balancer, right, will provide us some public IP. We can point this some DNS load balancer DNS name using this load balancer or DNS URL, right? People will access your application all over the world, right? People will be accessing your application using this DNS URL. Okay, when you access this URL, your applications are being loaded. In the application source code, the developer would have done the RDS database connectivity from the application. Okay, this will be a front end. Okay, everywhere people can access it, by the way. RDS, here comes load balancer. Load balancer will give the URL, load balancer. Okay, so yes, sorry, I think this should be coming over here. So coming over here, monitoring. Now we have a 2 services available. One is CloudWatch and CloudTrail. Yeah, you guys must be familiar with that. So using CloudWatch, right, we would be able to monitor our specific how much utilizations are being there for the server 1, server 2, how much people are using the RDS, how many requests are coming to the RDS 2, how many some requests, total number of people accessing my load balancer. All those monitoring can be set up in the CloudWatch as a metrics. CloudTrail, right, that will make sure giving you the log. Okay, so who configured this, who edited the configuration, is somebody modified it, is somebody misconfigured it, who did the mistake, who stopped the server, who started the server, who has the account level access, who touched our infrastructure. All those logging and functionality, right, can be tracked in the using cloud trial service. These both services are inbuilt in within AWS they have provided. So far, anyone has any doubt or questions? Anyone has any doubt?
No question.
Okay, I'm surprising.
What is RT?
RT stands for route table actually. Route table in the sense in AWS, right? When you go for configuring your VPC, virtual private network, okay, virtual private networking in VPC, this route table helps you to route your packets. Okay, there are multiple ways you can configure the route table. Currently, our route requests are all goes to public internet gateway. So also we can configure route table for multi country, multi region communication, all those things, right? We can configure the route table accordingly. It's flexible. We can configure the route table accordingly to send our packets, network flow, everything can be controlled using route table. Okay.
Okay, so
Also,
this is
some
the
of them
need
used
to.
to pronoun like a route table, also correct term. Route table or route table depends on the people pronunciation.
Okay.
Sir, one question, please.
Yeah.
Sir, my question is in the real time scenarios, are we going to create the resources manually or from the cloud formation
Yes, good
service?
question. Appreciating, your question. So in the real-time environment, right, depends on the project only. Some people used to log into the AWS account. They'll set up everything graphically using graphical user interface. Some set of projects, right, they are strictly not use GUI to do that. As you mentioned, the people would recommend to go with the cloud formation. They'll have a cloud formation infrastructure as a code. They will do it through like that. Some of the infrastructure they follow Terraform. When they have a multi-cloud environment, AWS Azure or AWS GCP, in that case they prefer to go with the Terraform because Terraform is the infrastructure as a code tool support multi-clouds. So it depends on the environment and what scenario they follows. I told you, right, we're going to discuss 25 different projects. Upcoming project, we're going to talk about one project. We're going to talk in perspective of a cloud formation. One project we're going to talk about in the perspective of Terraform. So that's the action plan, and these are the possibility. Anurag.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
All right, perfect. Any other good question? As like Anurag. All right, then. Nice. Now, then we are coming to the end of our session. Okay, end of our session. This is the architecture diagram. Yes, I already given the architecture diagram in front of you. I developed, but this I have done it in the normal MS Paint. Correct. So, but if you go to the actual infrastructure, your architecture diagram should looks like these only. So this is something called as a Visio diagram. Anyone hear this term Visio? Okay, actually people used to call it as a Visio diagram. If you go there, many diagrams you would see. Okay, the architecture. So this way of representing your infrastructure is called as a Visio diagram. 99.99%, if you go any project, your architecture diagram will looks like these only. Okay, if you go to the internet gateway, this is how you have your first web servers are provisioned here, database servers are provisioned here. We have route table, we have a VPN gateway, we have a customer gateway, VPN connection is established. This is on-prem network. Okay, whatever we have did that, same thing they have represented over here as well. Okay, I can explain this, but if I draw step by step, that will be more interesting and you guys able to follow. Instead of showing on diagram, this gives you more confident, I believe. So now you guys go for any interview. I'll what I will do. I'll just share this content with you all. What you guys just do, showcase this in your resume and also explain this project during your interview. Okay, what project currently tell about your current infrastructure, talk about them. I have AWS Cloud, I have a VPC, where public subnet, private subnet. We have a web servers located in public subnet. We have a database server located in the private subnet. Also, we use route table, internet gateway for the internal connectivity. We are not only having in AWS, we do have it in the on-prem cloud as well. For separate team taking care of on-premises data center. For connecting AWS to on-premises, we use two strategy. One VPN, another one is direct connect. It depends on our project requirement. We'll go with any one actually. Like that, you can explain them Load balancer gives you as a URL. Using that load balancer URL, we'll access our front-end application. In the proper flow, you can explain it. Okay, that gives you a very good confidence on your presentation. And another good thing for all of you, another good thing. So I told you, right, 25 projects we're gonna discuss. So we just started with the first project.
Sir, one more question, please.
Yes.
So
If
just now
Anurag
you have
asks
told
question,
that.
that should be valid question. I'm happy to answer. Yes, Anurag, go ahead.
So just now you have said that there will be a load balancer which will provide the DNS name from which we will access the resources, right?
Yes, correct.
In real time, are we going to access the resource by DNS name or by the domain name?
Actually, another good question. Okay, appreciating again. So basically, when we create load balancer, right, one lengthy URL load balancer will give actually. Okay,
Yes.
load balancer name.aws.com, that region / lengthy name will give. That is not advisable and recommended to use in the live project. I agree with you. For that, we need to buy a domain name somewhere in the GoDaddy or even in AWS itself. There's a service available called Route 53, where you can buy your own domain name. You need to create a public DNS zone for that. You need to create a record or CNAME record, whatever, to point your lengthy URL to your domain name. Once you mapped it, it will take some time to reflect globally. After that, you can access with your own domain name also. For your information, that project also we are going to discuss. Out of this 25, that is going to be 8th or 9th project actually. We are going to discuss that as well.
Okay.
Cool. But question is very nice. Anyway, now I have some good inputs to all of you. I told you 25 projects. Not every Saturday people will be available. Some people will have some personal work, not feeling well. I have a very important marriage reception to attend. So that kind of things will come, right? Obviously. So if you miss session, what will you do? How can you catch? For that, right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to share one WhatsApp channel link. Okay, in this meeting chat, right, in another 2-3 minutes, I'll be sharing this WhatsApp channel link. That WhatsApp channel link, I'll be the admin. Okay. So in that WhatsApp channel, right, whenever we complete this project, what we will do, I'll upload in my YouTube channel. So that recording link, right, I'll share it over here. You guys can download it or you can play online, whatever you want, you can do it. First thing, what you will get, a recording link will be shared in the WhatsApp group. WhatsApp channel, not a group, WhatsApp channel. Why I choose the WhatsApp channel? People, everybody will follow Telegram link or WhatsApp group, right? Why I prefer to go with WhatsApp channel? I don't want to disturb people. If I send a message, right, it will come to your inbox. That is more irritative. Some people will understand that as a positive because it's learning only, right? I'm fine to get my inbox, WhatsApp inbox, I can receive a message, but not everybody. So I don't want to disturb you. So if I posted something in the WhatsApp channel link, right, whenever you free, go to the WhatsApp channel, you can view it. So channel in your control. Correct? It's more of your control. If you wish to open the channel, open it. Otherwise, ignore it. No problem. Nobody is forcing you to open it. It will not give any notification. It will not giving you anything to deviate your concentration. You will be primarily focusing on some other your personal work. So this notification will not deviate your concentration. That's another reason we are giving the WhatsApp channel link. So what I'm telling, I'll share the WhatsApp channel link in this meeting chat, Zoom meeting chat. Just click on it. Okay, your WhatsApp will be added to our channel. As soon as get added, right, today if I take a session, right, Sunday obviously will be all day. Monday, every Monday, the recordings will be updated in the WhatsApp channel, edited, and it will be properly updated in the WhatsApp channel. Okay. And Hari, where will I see the content? This content you have shown, right? What content? Okay, this screenshot from the video itself, we can take the screenshot and this content. How many of you need this content? Because this is really needed to update in your resume, right? This content will be updated in the recording video description. When you click the link, if you go to the description of the video, it will be there. You can copy paste. All right. So that way also, future I'll enable some Google Drive and all. I'll enable the access. But for now, we'll follow this as a standard. Okay. Try to access for 1 or 2 sessions. Whatever the difficulties you face, let me know. We'll change it accordingly. Okay. I'm appreciating your feedback. So this way, right, we are going to address if you're going to miss or anything. Okay. One strong confirmation I need from all of you. What are the confirmation I need? As soon as you got the recording. Okay. As soon as you got the recording, right, what you do for that video, right, you just comment it. Okay, anything, any positive comment, so which motivates me. If you have any other idea also, hey Hari, explain me this project, I want this, anything you have any input, share that, comment it. If you really feel this session is informative or useful, comment it. Let's see how many comments are coming. Okay, obviously I can see your name also in the comment, so that we can have a, so I see Anurag name. Similarly, I used to familiarize with other people name also. Okay. So again, this all 25 projects are completely free. You need not to worry about it. Hey, Hari will take first 3 projects for free. After that, he'll ask you to pay, nothing like that. Okay. Feel free, enjoy. End of day, it's a knowledge sharing platform only. High tech institution is a knowledge sharing platform. So if you are, gaining something from us, more than enough. All right. All right, guys. We are going to, make more content.
Sir,
Upcoming
if,
week, we can see. Okay.
in future, how will you meeting you, sir? Will you reach the
In the WhatsApp channel only. In the future, next Saturday, yeah, good question. Next Saturday, every Saturday, we'll have a session at 7 p.m., right? All Saturdays. Okay, all Saturdays, the communication, meeting link, everything will be shared in the channel link, in the WhatsApp channel itself. Zoom link will be.
Okay. If possible means you can drop your WhatsApp number. If you have
I'm working on it actually, Ashwin. Actually, I'm working on it. Because I cannot share my personal number, right? For that, I'm planning to buy one secondary phone number actually. So actually, I purchased it. It's yet to activate actually. What I will do in the next session, I'll share my personal number also. If you guys any further question or anything, you can reach out to me also in the WhatsApp. Okay.
Okay, bro.
Give me 1 week of time. Next week, I'll share that. Okay.
Okay, but today I checked that in that WhatsApp group, one more that number you shared that meeting link na.
That's
That
my
is your
admin team, by
number.
the way. That's my admin.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
No. Yeah, I cannot share it in all the group, right? So they helped me to
Yeah,
share.
understood.
But next week,
Understood.
I'll share my number. Okay, I'll fix one number. I'll enable WhatsApp for that. So I'll, share that. For currently, I shared the link in the chat. All of you received a WhatsApp channel link. Can someone click and confirm whether it is working?
Sir, it's saying channel is not available now, right?
Channel is not available. Oh my God. Let me copy. I'll put it in one of the browser in front of you. Let's see. It's showing, right? If you click on view channel, you will be get added. AWS interview hacks. Any other can confirm? Hey, what you need to do? Just
Yes, sir.
open the
It
link
is
in
there.
WhatsApp. So you will be added in the channel.
One out of the box question. Do you have any of your YouTube channel like this so that we can follow you?
Yes, of course. In the chat, I told you, right? I'm going to upload the video. I'm going to share the recording. I asked all of you to comment, right? On the same channel only, I'm gonna put it actually. The channel video, I'll upload it. Okay.
Thank you.
For information, Anurag, I have a WhatsApp channel created last 3-4 years back, and I have a close to, I remember, 20,000 followers for me. Arsha, link is working for you? Try from your
No,
WhatsApp.
sir, I will try it. I'll fix it. I will try it.
Anybody else can confirm, because I suppose not share the wrong link, right? It's
Yeah, I joined.
Joined, right? Okay, fine. Because if I close the meeting, you will not be able to access the chat. Chats are gone. That's why. Yeah, people are confirmed in the chat itself. Working, yes. Kirtana. Fine, guys. So what you will do, just to spread this free session information to all your friends. Let them also join on the upcoming week of discussion. It will be benefited, right? Anyway, they missed one project. Circulate to others also. They will also get benefited. Okay. So until then, thank you all.